We all know the story of Cupid, either known as the Greek god Eros or the Roman god Cupid, that shoots arrows and makes people fall in love. And if Eros looks like a handsome man, or if Cupid looks like a little winged baby that gets plastered all over the place on Valentine's Day. He is said to be a beautiful representation of true love, and that when you're struck, you either fall in love with the first person you see and it's meant to be, or you will find your true love. It's not true either way. In fact, it's an outright lie. The real Cupid, for lack of a better name, is not an innocent child or a dreamy Adonis-like figure. It is a creature of a more sinister nature. It is a creature of love. The folklorists got that part right. But it's not nice, true love. It's not the love you think of when Prince Charming meets Sleeping Beauty and kisses her to wake her up, or when Cinderella gets her slipper back. No. This is a love of a much darker nature. Think of every relationship that you ever saw that was tainted and wrong, but it lasted. The couple that always fights, the abuser and their victim. The couple that are only together because they need each other, yet they drain each other as well. The two that don't think they can do any better than their partner. These are the real works of Cupid. This is the love that it deals in. Now, Cupid has no gender or defined look that we know of, if it's even seen in the first place. And one will never know if they were struck by one of its spells, unless they actively seek the creature out and ask to be struck. And this does happen. Now, why would a creature that's supposed to be about love create such sorrow? Well, simple. That's what it feeds off of. It feeds off the sorrow and anguish of its victims. The worse the relationship, the more sated it feels. It revels in pain and torture and the madness that people call love when it's not. It also loves when one person is in love with another, but the other person reviles them. This has created some of the worst stalkers in history. The obsessive, the weak, the lonely, these are the ones that become its prey, because these are the ones it can control with little effort. These are the ones that generate the feelings it needs to survive quite easily. Since the time humanity discovered the idea of love, perhaps since humanity's been around, since it first created the first family, it's been there, watching and waiting for something to go wrong. It loves societies that favor one group over another as its favorite, a breeding ground for its control. It is able to adapt, though, transcending time as it finds new victims to feed on even today. Now, I'm sure many of you don't believe me. You think I'm some cynic that's never found love. That I just hate Valentine's Day and I think love is one of those constructed, fragile things that people that are nihilistic give the middle finger to, essentially. But I can prove it. Though it will cost you your freedom and your sanity. I do know how to summon Cupid. Now, as a warning, I would not recommend doing this. But if you insist, to summon Cupid, you need a few simple items. You need 6 candles, 2 that are red, 2 that are black, and 2 that are white. A small scrap of paper with the name of your desired partner on it, or the word anyone on it if you have no preference. A mirror that can be moved around. It just can't be attached to a wall. Any mirror will do. A few drops of your blood, in other words, get a pin ready, and scented oil, any scent will do. First, you must take your mirror and rub the scented oil on its reflective surface. Any scent will do, as I said before. I promise. Now, move the mirror to a room that can be made completely dark. The ritual must not be done in the same room you prepared the mirror. I'm not sure why, so just go with it. Now place the mirror on a wall, so it doesn't fall down, obviously. Any wall will do. And place the candles in a zigzag pattern, in this order. Red first, then black, then white. Repeat for the second 3. Now turn out the lights and take the scrap of paper and drop a few drops of blood on it. This is your payment for the favor you're about to ask. The blood, not the paper. Now light the candles in the opposite order which you place them. As in, if you place the candle closest first, you light the candle furthest first. And then go from there. Sing each time, "My love burns bright," for red. "Death does not bring me fear," for black. "Cupid, show me your light," for white. It doesn't matter what order you say these in. When all the candles are lit, you must sit and stare at the mirror through the light of the candles. Do not move. Eventually, your reflection will be replaced with a hazy image. Now, I can't tell you what the image will look like. It kind of varies from person to person. Some see the child, others see an adult. Some see a man, others a woman. For some, the vision is pure beauty, others pure horror. Some see nothing but a haze. But no matter what you see, you will fall into a trance. And in that trance, you will only be able to do one thing. You will hand the note to the being in the mirror. This being is Cupid, and now it has your request. Well, once it reaches through the mirror, it does. Now, if you wrote a specific name, that person will fall in love with you, but they will be shown to be jealous and abusive, a possessive creature. If you wrote the word anyone, then be forewarned. That stranger in the night might end up being your stalker at best, or your prison warden at worst. You see, with anyone, you are able not to fall in love with them, but that won't stop them from falling in love with you. If you do end up with the person you summoned with this ritual, you will be under the impression that it was meant to be. You will not be able to end the relationship at all. The only way you will be freed is if they break up with you, or if one of you die. But this is for anyone who wrote anyone on it. If you do not accept the advances of Cupid's chosen, you're never going to get rid of them. They will follow you every day of your life or theirs, whichever ends first. Now, for those that believe me, there are ways to protect yourself from Cupid, if you're willing to listen. First and foremost, being in a relationship will not save you. Cupid loves to try and break up happy couples and put all parties into romances that feeds it. So don't count on being with someone as a way of protection. You will need to have a strong will. Since Cupid is an insidious, stealthy thing, being strong of mind may help stave it off. However, even the strongest of us will have off days, so I recommend having a charm with you. Something made of gold. Even a small amount of gold will repel this creature. Why do you think wedding bands are usually made of gold? Mint, oddly enough, is another repellent. It hates the smell, although in the summoning ritual it won't drive him away if that's the oil you chose to use. I think he can't smell it through the mirror. But otherwise the scent drives it away, sickening it a bit. Cats and dogs also repel the horrid creature. Dogs act as an alarm, and it does not want to be spotted, obviously. And cats act like guards, fighting off the invader. This is all I know of the real cupid. I don't know if it uses arrows, if it's big or if it's small. I don't know if it even has a gender or a specific look. I leave you with this warning. If you really want to be safe from this creature, never try and force love. Never look for love. Let it come to you. And never assume the person you are with is the one. The fairy tale version of love we all seem to hold to this day is the one thing that may still be allowing this creature to live. Perhaps if we understand that love isn't about the one, but about caring for each other, about forming trust and bonds, then maybe it'll fade away and life will be a bit better for all of us. I don't have my hopes up for that, though. You know how humans can be.